Monster kill!
Battle begins.
Hit their times a little bit fast. But for the most part, this Necro counters 2 of their cores. I mean, it is a really good pick.
Is it enough, Sin?
I think so. I think they can bounce back in this game, and I think, you know, Nigma really adjusted to the problems they had in game 1, which is what you want to see, right? Like, they had a bad game, they went back and talked backstage, figured out what the issue was, and here they come with a completely different draft. I think there's no heroes they ran in game 1, right? Just 5 new heroes.
5 new heroes.
No, there's Rubik. Rubik
yeah.
is a repeat, but 4 of the heroes, and cool to see the Necro, so I'm excited. I love this hero.
Oh, well, that's the first time I believe you actually step up to the plate and choose a team to go for the draft, so that's a good sign.
It's a draw.
Well, it's a draw, meaning that we're getting a 3rd game, and I think everybody would like that. And definitely our commentary duo of MLP and John Expire.
Thank you so much, Eva. We do get into it, and we definitely love a game number 3 between these two teams. Of course, Jonathan, NGX, a bit of a rough time. Game number 1, Thunder Awakening looking fantastic. What are you thinking about these drums?
I think Thunder Awakening will just want to play fast again. We saw it in game 1. They just overwhelmed the side of NGX. They go back to the Sven into the Void. Can be a little bit awkward to kind of play that one. Outside of the Void, the Sven can be free to dance around. So I'm keen to see how well Thunder Awakening can play with those new constraints.
Yeah, I mean, you heard the panel. They were quite split once again on these drafts. But again, Thunder Awakening game number 1, they didn't really make it look really hard. They just set a tempo and they just went from there. See if NGX can pull this one back their way. And of course, we love a game number 3. That's all we want to see on this main stage elimination match.
Oh yeah, like NGX, of course. I think a lot of people had them lined up as the favorites, but Thunder Awakening is showing us that SA is not a region to ever underestimate, ever. No circumstance should you ever count them out. The emphatic guys always going on in the chat. I mean, SA is all united on the back of Thunder Awakening, so we'll see if that energy can carry them through. NGX, I mean, they're 1 game away from possibly being eliminated, so all in here. And again, we're seeing DreamoCell on the Void, something we've seen him play throughout the years. It's something he's very comfy on. Might not be the easiest game for it, and also might not be the hardest, but it's a little bit of a back and forth here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Dream is still going back to maybe a bit of a comfort pick here on the Void. Yeah, it does pan out. TA, I mean, they do have that Timber Saw again, which is what scares me, Jonathan. That Timber last game around just having so much impact for Thunder Awakening game number 1. See if they can have a repeat performance here for Sacred. And I mean, frankly, Sacred, he might have died once or twice, but he just wasn't look like he was struggling the whole time.
No, he looked very comfy, and again, I think we saw him play it in Arlington in the early group stages. Didn't look quite as good, but he's making it work really well in this series so far. So we'll see if that Thunder strikes twice or the Lightning strikes twice. Bit of a poke here.
GH, he got the Astral Spirit out, is to walk his way out of there. It'd be a 2 for 2, it looks like, anyway on those banner ins, so a bit of more of an even start between these two teams. Started with that laning stage, of course, mid lane. Bit of a struggle for Samel last time around. Dark Mago having a fantastic time on the Mars. This time, though, Ember vs. Quap matchup, this is something we've seen multiple times, Jonathan. Who do you think has the inherited advantage?
I think it's rather even. It does feel like you can get really aggressive there on the Quap, but the Ember is not too far off, can protect himself quite nicely with the Flame Guard and maybe even dodge out with the Flame Sleight of Fist if the dagger does come through, depending on the build of Sumiel. So it shouldn't be the hardest thing in the world here for Dark Mago to hold up against. And I think the main concern down the line for NGX is actually holding that Ember down. You've got Chrono, Stomp's not reliable, Reaper Sight's a massive cooldown. The Lift is also not the most reliable. So there's a lot of play for Dark Mago if things go right.
Absolutely. So poor old GH being chased down there by Matthew on that Hoodwink, just such an annoying hero just to try and get away from. Burning through 2 tangos already, by the way, on that Elder Titan. Not the happiest start for GH. Of course, top lane Mind Control, he does have the Necrophos this time around, right? Against the Timber, you do have a much better way of bursting down this map.
Yeah, it feels really good to switch the lanes here as well, giving DreamoCell the lane. Up against the Sven, you don't have to deal with the Timbersaw lane. You can still play around with Time Walk. A bit of an early trialing out from NGX as well. And that should help sustain DreamoCell in that lane. But the Timbersaw up against the Necros, it does feel a lot better for Mind Control. The magic damage is not something a Timbersaw deals with all too well.
Oh, GH, bot lane gonna try and man up here. Matthew might be the one in danger. It's so much damage, but the Stormhammer, it's gonna land, but it won't be enough. GH, is he going to keep trying for Matthew? Not quite yet. Another Spirit out here from the Elder Titan. Nobody's securing first blood at this point.
Very close. Great time dilation use from DreamoCell to hold off the chase. giving GH the space to kind of run away. Does have to level it up at 2. No bashes to trade here.
There. They've got the Rubik this time around. Thunder Awaken might be able to draw blood here against Kurogi. Verify is out, but it's not going to matter. Because securing first blood on the position 1 Sven, you couldn't have asked for a better start.
It's a good pickup for them. I mean, you're building up on that lane for Pakaz. We saw how well he did with, just minimal itemization in Monkey King last time around. It does feel like the Sven is a hero that comes online equally fast. We're still seeing a little bit of a poke and prod out from GH. Both teams running tri-lanes down bot. And again, just putting that emphasis on kind of slowing each other down. It does feel like Dreamwitsel's the one that's going to have a harder time. I mean, the Sven's always just going to outfarm you with a cleave.
Sad realities of going against Sven. Top lane, Sacred and Mind Control still just kind of going solo against each other. Looks like Sacred not being too pressured so much right now. CS still going very well for the side of the Timber. Mind Control, however, as he gets those levels up, does get a lot scarier for the Timber. The bot lane, GH being caught out with a great bushwhack from Matthew right on the edge. GH, he walks back, he'll cop it from Matthew. Another kill to go the way of Thunder Awaken.
The tri-lane's really just working out in Thunder Awaken's favor. Again, you're not allowing Dreamwitzel to be targeted by these movements. At the same time, it shouldn't be too feasible to catch out the Faceless Void Art with the time walk as long as stay away from the tree line. So value coming through for Thunder Awaken. They aren't quite building up stacks for the Sven down the line, which can be something that might be of concern, but with the laning start this strong for Pakaz, I don't think you care too much.
Certainly not. Very, very strong start for this Radiant team. Dreamwitzel not too far behind at the very least in CS. In fact, he's ahead of the Sven for now, if you don't count the first blood bonus. Again, Sacred back at the Timber, dropping very low against Mind Control.
You mad?
Up until that level 6 mark, you're not too concerned, but certainly a little bit too afraid of taking too much damage here from the Necrophos. Even Dark Mago, Samal, right over the water rune, but Samal does manage to pick this one up. Flight of Fist not going to be enough to be able to grab that one away from the Queen of Pain, and Samal, he should be able to grab both water runes now.
He should be able to secure them, and he's had a really great time mid. His matchup versus Yember shaping up much better for him, playing around with the Shadow Strike being maxed out first, so he can trade really well. If Dark Mago doesn't dodge out those hits, the Flame Guard takes away, your wave pushing kind of disappears, you don't have the small camp to play with, and Quap is a lot more mobile than you compared to that leveled 6 time, which the Ember really needs if he wants to play in and out.
Bottom lane, GH again going to be in danger. The Elder Titan going to be chased down here by Pakaz. Astral Spirit will be there. He will still walk his way out. In fact, Pakaz now, he'll take a fair bit of damage. Lift up. Maybe they've got the control. Pakaz in big trouble. Still going to be able to get away with the bashes. Oh, it's not going to be enough. 30 HP he will walk out on. Just barely. As the fight does continue, Matthew, they should be just fine. Back Pakaz now salving up, thinking about moving back in. But eventually will think better of it and will back his way out. Meanwhile, looking back at Midjon, look at Dark Mago. He's not having a great time.
He's still finding that farm, still bullying out Dark Mago. Really close in that kill. Gets the Lucky Bash Dreamwitzel, but doesn't go all in while going. It's a bit of a shame. If he just went in for one last right click under tower, that would have been it.
7 HP. I thought it was 30, John, but 7 HP is what Pakaz... No, make that 6. That's close.
Way too close for comfort, but you're not going to be asking yourself what would have happened if you're Thunder Awaken. You're just happy enough that they're still trying to commit for the tri-lane down bot. Again, I feel like this is hurting their offlane a lot more, but they're maybe not too concerned about MC having that much of a good game on the Necrophos, as it is tied into the cooldowns. Early rotation out from GH, looking for the rune spawn at 6.
Be able to secure the bottom side, I think. It is going to spawn top, though. Samal should make his way over for the illusion, though Matthew going to try and intervene, but cannot deny it off. So another nice pickup here for the first power rune of the game. Queen of Pain having a very, very strong start here for Samal. Considering how the bot lane's gone, you are going to require him to have that kind of strong start to really set a pace for this game for NGX. As Panda Moon now will be chased down just a little bit by GH, but eventually will be forced back here on the Elder Titan. Oh, Dreamwitzel still going at it with Pakaz, but anything like the Chrono, you're not really looking to secure a kill here on the Sven.
It's really just a farming lane when you just leave these cores alone. Same thing could be said for top. Level 6 being up on Mind Control does mean kill threat presents itself with a Reaper's Sight. And you should have the full Hood of Defiance coming out for Sacred, so Magical Burst play going to be a little bit slower. Doesn't quite opt for it yet. Opts for the Soul Ring, so No cloak yet. Mind Control has a few more moments here to just maybe look for that solo kill.
Perhaps. Reaper's Scythe is available. It's not dropping him too much yet. Mid lane. GH hanging around once again. Pandamu is going to be spotted. Dark Mago is around. A nice stop though, catching two of them. Samao moving in, but cannot find an angle. Didn't have the mana for the Sonic Wave anyway, so would not be able to secure the kill on the Queen of Pain. Back their way out. I'd just be all about those power runes though, coming up in about 30 seconds here for that mid lane. And imagine these supports from NGX and TA will probably just stick around and ensure their mid laner does get the power rune they want.
Yeah, they're still holding on to that mid. I think they understand that pressuring Dark Mago on a slower start in the Ember is just going to really hurt his pacing. Like, you're going to want to give the jungle out completely to Pakaz. You're not going to have too much room for Dark Mago to play with, and he needs to kind of play around with a Turmosol when his spikes come out. So the slower start for Ember is going to hurt that aggression Thunder Awaken had in Game 1. I don't think you're going to see that timing here in Game 2. They are building up the stacks, though, which is going to be very helpful for Pakaz.
Pandamu this time does get away with the Arcane. Sumail not happy about it. Will try to punish. Might go for the Sonic Wave and does secure. Just barely. Wow. First kill on the board here for the Queen of Pain, and Pandamu, at least he gets the Arcane Rune, John, but Sumail will punish heavily.
It's a nice little kill for Sumail to find. Bit of a big ult to spend, but you're not really moving across the map. You're just holding that lane, again, dragging a lot of attention to Dark Mago and just ensuring the Ember just doesn't find farm. It's severely behind now at this point. They're just kind of stuck. In stark comparison to Game 1, Dark Mago and Sacred are just kind of hanging around. They're not able to play around the map, look for pickoffs, and buy space for Pakaz.
Here we go again, mid lane. Dark Mago trying to get aggressive. The stop is going to be avoided with a very nice Remnant. Chase is still going. Mind Control trying to break the gap. Does have Reaper's Scythe available, but a very nice juke out through the tree line from Dark Mago. He's going to be just fine this time around. NGX not making the same mistake as last game, John. They're the ones trying to set the pace in this game number 2 and not allow Thunder Awaken to just move their way across the map and do whatever the hell they want. Mind you, Thunder Awaken, they still have a bit of time to hit their own timings. They seem very, very happy to just chill out and just keep hitting creeps for now. NGX trying to get some stuff done while they can.
Yeah, and they need to be able to scout out that triangle. These stacks built up by Thunder Awaken, they're ready to take it. They've got the Mask of Madness up in Pakaz. Into the Echo Saber, it could be big if they've got that space.
Mid lane, Dark Mago, he's manning up. The co-op is going to be all right. Blink away, Kuroki there to back up Sumail if necessary. Mago, just fine. And the move was right behind him. Big wave back up in 25 if they do want to try and make some sort of a play with this co-op. Meanwhile, Pakaz, he does infiltrate the Dire jungle and maybe take some stacks away from the side of NGX, and now right back into his own triangle. Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Oh yeah, massive stacks, and again, NGX didn't manage to scout that out. They're playing poke up top, but without the Necrophos, it doesn't feel like you can really burst down Sacred, and that farm acceleration for Pakaz, I mean, he's going to hit that timing on the Echo Saber, he's going to be able to work onto the BKB, and once you do have that spell immunity up, the only thing you are scared of is the Faceless Void, and Dreamer Cell, it just takes such a long time for the Void to hit those same spikes, and as we mentioned, you can't keep up with the farming pace of a Sven. He's severely behind in comparison despite that solo lane.
It's just so much gold going the way of the Sven, already 2k ahead of that Void, and we'll see how aggressive TA want to get. Maybe you just go for the Blink build up here on the Sven, just try and get real aggressive, and now he's going to work on towards that Echo Saber. Fair enough. Dreamer Cell, of course, working towards the Maelstrom himself on this Faceless Void. You mentioned, John, just takes so much more time for the Void to be ready to really fight. Even then against the Sven with all that armor, it can be a bit of a rough affair. Top lane Sacred. Once again, going to say hello to Mind Control. Seems like there's too much he can do about the Necrophos, however. Back his way out after poking him a little bit. Mind Control very confident to just stick around and this harassment going his way. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Dreamer Cell. Gonna go after the bottom tier 1 tower. Pandamu gonna be targeted. Sumail has rotated over Panda. He's gonna go for a TP out and does make it. Very nice cheeky spot there from the Winter Wyvern. Nothing to stop him.
Didn't quite get to scream out in time. Didn't want to just blindly commit the chrono, of course, and it's just a little bit of time wasted from the movement of Sumail, giving them some openings to soak through mid, get a little bit more for Dark Mago to play with. Earn already up on our Ember. They are clumping around top here.
And Bushwhack is there to hold down the Necro. In comes the Stormhammer and Bakaz. Woo, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Here we go mid lane. Stomp's not going to land. Dark Mago just fine to remnant out, but Sumail still on the chase, wanting the Ember. Does have Sonic Wave available, but won't go too far for this attempt. In fact, chains are out now. Lock down the quad, but he'll be fine to blink his way away. Tell you what though, John, this Sven, he's looking real scary.
Yeah, Bakaz has way too much farm. Echo Saber up, BKB next. I mean, he's just going to be able to stand for it. Again, if they're not ready to play around with Dreamo Cell on NGX's end, play with that Chrono, you have no hard answer for this Sven. He's just going to be able to run you down, kill everyone off, and they're already going for a bit of smoke play now with Dark Mago here.
You go Kuroki. Just fine. The smoke is towards that Radiant, or rather die jungle. GH still trying to just stomp up Sacred.
Ooh.
Might just go down, still somehow alive. Sacred. He'll go for the chains, does have the chains up, and eventually does secure the kill, but now the Reaper's side, not going to do enough damage. Not even close. Sumail has been caught out of the quad, but a nice blink away. The sharpshooter not going to land, but it won't matter. Mago, double damage rune available, just doing so much damage, but here comes Dreamer's Cell. Chrono available if they want to commit, but they don't need it. No remnants available for Dark Mago, so they do get some form of a trade. Not too bad for either side. Though it does seem like a bit more valuable for the side of Thunder Awaken.
Yeah, they find a pretty big kill. You're pretty happy with Dreamer Cell taking that one for himself, though. As again, the Faceless Void is going to want everything he can get on the map, and Dreamer Cell has caught up. Still behind Bakaz, but at least ahead of everyone else on the map. 5-2, great start for Thunder Awakening. Still, but the momentum isn't quite there as in comparison to game 1, where they were just running down, they were taking these fast objectives on mid, on the safe lane as well. It's much more even. NGX has a lot more play. Reaper side is a fair long cooldown though, so every single time they see that committed early, they've got a window, but since Mind Control hung around, he does have the Spirit Vessel charges ready to make it a lot easier to deal with that Timb.
He's out again, Kuroki. Gonna be fine. They're just fighting over the power rune at that 14-minute mark. GH will go for the race up, but can't really go for this as Sacred. Gonna cut them off right in onto the Order Titan. Dreamer's Cell, he is around to try and help out. Again, he does have Chrono up, but I doubt he has the damage through the Chrono right now. They'll try to slowly chase down Sacred, but he's having a good laugh to himself, knowing he probably just won't die. So Thunder Awaken easily back their way out. NGX, once again, unable to really try and pop that Chrono, especially if you don't have Sumail behind you to really get that damage out with the Sonic Wave.
And speaking of Sumail, he got taken out solo by Bakaz. Got strung out just to stun out, and just easy pickings.
It's so much damage. Like, you land one Bushwhack, he just gets destroyed here by Bakaz. Blink up as well on the Sven, by the way, so it's just not getting any easier. And Matthew, he'll build up his own Blink Dagger now on the Hoodwink. So even more initiation to come out for Thunder Awaken. John, what do NGX need to do? How do they slow this game down a little bit?
They need to find a way to just play with Sumail. They're going for a 3-man smoke. This could be one of those things that buys them space. They need to get some value from that Reaper side. Mind Control has not gotten a single stack out. So just every time they have that spell, every time Sumail's ready, they've got to clump up and find something.
Big wraparound. They found the target they wanted. They want that Wyvern first. Panda move. It's going to drop. Dreamer Cell. He'll jump in with the Chrono. It's only the Timbersaw being caught, but maybe they do have the damage. Reaper's side going to cancel the chase, and now the Sonic Wave. NGX showing signs of life in this game number 2. We'll take down a couple for their trouble.
Yeah, those are big kills for them to find. Winter Wyvern not as much, but the Timbersaw, they managed to put a huge dent on Sacred's game this time around. His itemization's not going as fast, although...
Because he's on top, John. There's just no surviving. It's just way too strong. Panda, we'll see a bit of a replay here. Just on the edge. Very nice Reaper side though. Mind Control just ensuring the Chrono a bit unfortunate though, not quite catching the Ember.
Yeah, it's still important. Again, they get some charges up on that Reaper's site. They get the control they need, and they finally get some activity out from Dreamo Cell. He's been, again, AFK farming. You are still worried about how much Bakaz is finding. Like, they've not found a solution to the Sven. And once that BKB is up, we've been saying this for a while, the panels pointed it out, but it will be all about DreamWhistle jumping Pakaz, and whether or not he's ready to do that, whether or not they have enough damage to deal with Pakaz, even in the chrono, remains to be seen.
KB to come out soon as well. This Vengeon, just scary, scary times. How's DreamWhistle's farm going? Is he anywhere near? I mean, he's still 4k behind, working on towards his own BKB. It just feels like you're lacking so much damage. The Sacred, no fear in the world, will play with DreamWhistle up the top lane. He knows there's no help around here for the Void. The DreamWhistle going to be just fine himself. Meanwhile, mid lane, lift up. It's just not going to matter though, as a nice remnant back away from Dark Mago. Bottom lane, however, pings are coming out. Matthew, looks like he was spotted here, so mind control this time is going to be just fine as he had the information. In fact, it's Pakaz who TPs his way out as Nigma. They are slowly rotating their way over. Matthew, though, just going to be able to scurry away, no problems here either.
And it just feels great for Thunder Awakening every single time they have this downtime. He's just farming a lot better on Pakaz. He still has control of his triangle. There's still no forward vision here from NGX. And they're just not able to contest that Sven. Like, even though this is a slower game for Dark Mago and Sacred, it doesn't matter as long as Pakaz finds that farm.
You just saw the stats there, John. Pakaz having the highest last hits of any hero this event at this time. He's doing a fantastic job. 247 at 18 minutes in. That's a lot of farm. Skaroki, mid lane, will get caught out and taken down. Sacred once again able to make the jump in. Maybe he just gets started on this mid-tier 1 tower.
You've got that durable timber once more to just tank the wave, build up the stacks. They are coming in for the defense here from NGX, so it's not the smoothest process for Sacred. Reaper's side is ready for mind control if they do want to fully commit.
GH going to be spotted. They'll try and make their play onto Sacred. Sacred with the Lotus Orb up, not really afraid too much whatsoever as GH dropped the Earth Splitter, but Dark Mago able to remnant his way away from this one. No real fight to break out yet. A few spells being used up. The Samel will see the Ember now. Dark Mago again. There's no fear in the world at the moment. Meanwhile, Pakaz does show himself up, but a very nice stop to hold them back. Necrophos, Reaper's side, they do take down the Timber. That's a great start. Mind control, now the Chrono. They got the Winter Wyvern, and that should be a second for the side of NGX, but a curse is out. Lock them down, but can they capitalize? In comes Pakaz. That'll be GH gone. They do at least get DreamWhistle out of there. NGX, it's not such a bad trade for them this time around as Dark Mago's still going. Chains out, in goes Pakaz. So much. Now look at this man, he's a Giga Chat, John. He does not care. He just keeps going for more. NGX, they can't handle it. Back towards the fountain they go.
I mean, it looked decent for NGX at the start. They get a decent enough chrono. They blow up the Timbersaw early on. They take out the Winter Wyvern. But again, what's your answer for Pakaz if you don't catch the Sven out in the chrono with his BKB? His output is just insane. He has mobility with a blink. He can gap close and he can melt your faces off. And Thunder Awaken, it's a bit of a stark difference from game one. Again, it was much more even farm in game one. Pakaz is just this hyper carry. And NGX need to find a way of just catching him off guard, which TA has been very good at just distancing that Sven away.
Mid lane, Samel. Try and force them back once again. Just not willing to give up the mid-tier 1 tower. In comes Pakaz though, and that'll get it done no problem. GX will not get caught out. There's a sharpshooter on the way, however, it lands perfectly. Matthew trusting his Ember to land the chains, and that'll be Kuroki to drop once again. It's an immediate smoke out. Pakaz and Matthew just looking to run that wombo combo with the Bushwhack into the Stormhammer. So hard to survive through. Straight down towards the bottom side, they might find DreamWhistle. That's a huge pick-off if they can get it. There's your Stormhammer, there's your Bushwhack, no problem. They'll take him out. It's just too easy for Thunder Awaken.
It's only 12-6, a 6k lead coming out for Thunder Awaken, but it's just terrifying to deal with because like everyone else again has been a bit slower. You're still getting these
control. They do at least find the Ember. They burst down Dark Mago. In fact, they'll even find Pandamu. Can Thunder Awaken try to punish for this? They'll move their way in. NGX, they'll take what they get. Or do they? Sacred, still hanging around, is slowly being chipped away at. The stomp will not land, however. I suppose without the Reaper Scythe, you can't really hope to kill this man anyway. He'll just chain away. He does drop rather low with the Spirit Vessel, to be fair, John.
low enough, but not low enough to kill. And NGX, again, they find some good pickoffs down mid. They do have some play left. If they can split up Thunder Awakening, if they can just keep stalling out for Dreamosol to find additional damage in the chrono. He does have his BKB up, so catching him off guard in that same place should be a little bit tougher.
We're going to have the class. See a cheeky little replay here of Kuroki getting taken down with that sharpshooter. John, state of the game. Like, is Pakaz already just completely out of control? Is there a way to sort out this man throughout these fights?
It's got to be the chrono. It's got to be Dreamosol with more items up, which means a slower game. Maybe you save that Reaper sight out for the Sven instead. It's just difficult when you have high priority targets like the Timbersaw, like the Ember that you can't pin down outside of, again, chrono or sight. And just makes that choice a difficult one for NGX. They are going for a bit of a smoke out with Sumail here, though.
Go. Kaz is going to be spotted. Sumail maybe trying to burst him down. They don't have the Necrophos around, however. Not going to work out this time. NGX gets spotted. Immediate back off here from Thunder Awaken. They might group up and smoke up and go right towards NGX if they wish. 5k advantage, they must be feeling confident. Bit of a wraparound through the mid-river. Sacred, he'll scout out for the team. So obviously seeing the Timber do not want to have to deal with this. Kuroki, go right in for the lift. The Chakram for himself. It's mind control, he has been pinged out. You'll see the Necrophos, the chains are there to lock him down, but do they have the follow-up? The sharpshooter, oh my! Dreamosol, he'll go for the chrono anyway, right onto the card. Do they have the damage? How could they do? Oh, Sumail, he's there in time. Curse will lock him down though. Dreamosol, he might not get too much out of this, John, but that's a huge kill coming out for NGX.
And they lose their one key target. MC with a Reaper sight, not even in that play. Great chrono coming out from Dreamosol and the great follow through from NGX. They're starting to link things together. They get to poke a little bit onto that mid. The side of Thunder Awaken without their big frontliners does feel a little bit harder for them to hold off, but the creep wave is slowing down. Sacred still has a lot of clear, and we can take a look at that again.
I mean, here you go, Mind Control gets completely bursted down. Dreamosol, though, no hesitation, will move right in. And with the Earth Splitter, it's just so much damage output into the Sonic Wave. No magic resist for you with that Astral Spirit either. Not very fun times whatsoever for Thunder Awaken, and I guess that kind of answers my earlier question, John. Nice chrono, you land that combination, it's going to be no problem for the side of NGX.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure. It's really hard to pull off consistently, but if NGX can keep finding fights like that, then they can start to reel this game back. Only a 2k lead for Thunder Awaken. They're actually not too far behind. Pakaz is the real outlier. For Thunder Awakening, they have to respect that Faceless Void. They've been playing a really good game so far. I think if they manage to catch Dreamosol off guard, you've already got the Orchid up here as well on Pakaz. They are going Roshan. Without Chrono threat, NGX doesn't have too much play there.
NGX probably not going to try and fight for this, so Thunder Awaken, recognizing they have an opening, go right for the Roshan, and it won't take them too long with the God Strength. They will basically get this one for free. There will be an Astral Spirit to move in, but it's a bit too late. Aegis already picked up. Yeah, a couple seconds earlier and you would have been able to do something about it, but Aegis now the way of Pakaz. Thunder Awaken. Do you see them grouping up here, John? Do they take a bit of time?
They could just look for a bit of a play. Top tier 2 still stands, Outpost is still standing, but they've got good vision on that forward jungle up top. So they could try to just overtake and, you know, slowly chip away at the objectives here. NGX playing on the right side of the map, down bot where they've got some control and some vision. Mid tier 1 still makes it a little bit awkward, and they've got the pings flying out. They need to take care of this objective.
Dream Assault into that mid tier 1 tower. Thunder Awaken, probably not too interested in defending it now. I mean, you're 25.5 minutes in. Late enough for them to just let this one go down for free. Even if they do have that Aegis up, it's not willing to force a fight. In fact, GX, they don't feel safe about this. They'll back off. Everyone missing on the map right now for Thunder Awaken. It doesn't give you the most confidence moving into that mid-tier 1 tower. Thunder Awaken, they're not looking too interested in a fight, at least for now. Smoke out though, immediately broken. Not great news. Dream Assault will pop the chrono. He's found the Ember. Where's the backup? Sonic Wave is going to be there in time, but no! Oh, Dark Mago, he's going to make it out! Oh, imagine that, John! They committed everything for the man and they get nothing for their trouble.
Oh, that's just sickening. They still find a kill off on Kuroki and
Because he's in, Dreamer Cell's gone. The silence was there, tips are out because he's happy to man up. In fact, he's still going for a way in, but won't be able to find one. The blink was on cooldown. Another successful team fight for Thunder Awaken.
And that was NGX trying to play confidently. One-man chrono, they just want that Ember gone, and it just not fast enough. The follow-through just wasn't there. There was a moment, one fraction of a second to react there for Dark Mega, and he finds it.
Sean, look at this. Sonic Wave, the Earth Spinner. Oh, it doesn't connect. Oh, that's rough. Quick remnants out, quick hands here from Dark Mago, allowing him to survive. That's Chrono down now, so Thunder Awaken, they want to keep moving. They do still have the Aegis up here on Pakaz. Change around, they bounce them out. They do have the Reaper Sight, but now the curse is down. Once again, Dark Mago gonna survive through the onslaught. NGX can't quite finish the job off. He's still ticking away, but they do have some heals up here for this Ember. Now Pakaz, John, he's got the full Bloodthorn up. This is where things start to get very, very scary for NGX.
Oh.
Jump in again, not able to find the stun. In fact, mind control makes his own jump in. Still the tier 2 mid tower doesn't seem to be defended here by NGX. There's just nothing they can do about this. They're missing way too many spells here to try and force a fight.
Yeah, they've got to wait for that next chrono. They need to play around in that next Reaper's Sight. And Thunder Awaken, they've hit that mark once more where they've managed to dance around NGX, kind of play their own game. There were much more shining moments for NGX in the build-up, but now they're sort of stuck in their high ground. Now, for NGX, even if they lose the next tier 2 towers, they do have really good high ground with a chrono, and to an extent with their Elder Titan, with their Quap for wave clear. So they can stall this game out as much as possible. They have to be careful about getting picked off. Thunder Awaken are just grouping up as 5 every single time now.
Top tier 2 tower will be the next target. NGX, they'll group up. They get in position. They actually defend though. How long for Chrono for Dreamer Cell? It may not matter. In fact, it's up now. Dreamer Cell, he's going to move in. The Timber, Sacred, going to be targeted, but he's still fine as he takes down GH, or rather Kuroki. No problem. Speaking of GH though, here comes the Sharpshooter. There's a Chrono out. He's caught 2 of them this time around. They want that Ember, and they'll find him. There goes Dark Mago, but they do lose mind control. It's still a positive trade for Thunder Awaken. And look at this, they just go right high ground. They do not give a crap. Ember or not, they've got a double damage Sven here. And here we go, Pakaz, he's found Dreamer Cell. Oh, they found Samel as well. Complete disaster here for NGX. Thunder Awaken. High ground is theirs now. Hardly any buybacks available for NGX.
It's a scary time for NGX, and Pakaz, Aegis will expire in a bit. God's Strength still a bit off, but they just play perfectly. They lose the Ember. It takes so much commitment to find just that one kill. Not enough damage for Dreamer Cell to really do much by himself. He needs Sumail to dump all the spells out, and that just leaves very little options for everyone else. Again, your big issue is still Pakaz. Sure, Dark Mago's been dancing around, but the Sven is the one with all the damage. It's the one with the most durability outside of the Timber. Even then, arguably more durable than the Timber as well up front, considering his BKB protection. They need to find a way to just catch him out, but Pakaz has been very disciplined. He only goes in when he's sure he can get that pick off. Every other time, he's just farming.
Absolutely. 14k advantage now. 1 racks up for Thunder Awaken. NGX not out of this game yet. They're just got to hold the high ground, delay the game out as much as possible. Thunder Awaken, though, understanding how far ahead they are, they can just wait for the next Roshan. Sure, it's a while away, but there's just no rush for them. Considering how well this Sven is playing as well, like, why even bother?
No pressure for them to actually really look for too much risk in this game. NGX are the ones under pressure. They go for a smoke play. They've got a couple of their spells up. At least the Reaper Sight is back up on mind control, so pickoff is possible.
Is he Sacred? That's not the target they want. Or do they? They won't make it to the high ground in GX. Sacred, he seems to know they're around here somewhere. Lift up, they'll try. Reaper Sight is there, they do blow him up.
'Cause I am.
Pretty nice kill here for NGX.
Yeah, it just takes 3 ults. Like, immediate smoke out from Thunder Awakening after seeing that kind of play. They know it's very, very clear for Pakaz to play.
Pakaz is in. He fights Kuroki. That's without the God strength, and now down towards that bot lane, Dreamer. So he's gonna have to back out in here, but the curse is there. Lock him down. He needs some help right here, right now. Matthew gonna lock him down with the bushwhack. They are saving, however, Dreamer's Cell with the ghost form is gonna make it up for now. Bakaz cannot get the right clicks off. Instead, they'll try for mind control. Chain him up, Dreamer Cell right on the edge. Catches him in the chrono with the cold embrace. Gonna save Bakaz. No damage to come out of Bakaz. Right back in. Does not give a crap. Onto mind control. Onto Dreamer Cell. He'll take on everyone. GH gonna try and TP out in time. Might just make it out and does. But what does it matter? 3 to go down for NGX. And it might just be another high ground to come for Thunder Awaken.
That doesn't take them too long to chop through these objectives. Chrono down, Reaper's Sight down. They expended so much in killing off Sacred that they just have nothing else.
Bakaz, he's right in. Kuroki's gone. Another chains out. GH this time around gets locked down into the sharpshooter. Buybacks are there. They've got 3 available. But I just don't think you can defend this high ground without your carry Void. And hell, even then, again, Dreamer Cell, he's just lacking so much damage. And right now, he's lacking a chrono. Samel, he'll be forced to BKB up, move back in onto Dark Mago, but he has his own BKB. Happy to fight back. He'll just keep moving in onto Samel, who's forced to blink away. Is there at the very least, Bakaz will wait for the clip out. God Strength is back up and available. He'll pop it immediately, no hesitation. We've seen how fast this man just pops his blink right into the backside. Mind control going to be cautious. Jump in is there. He'll go into that ghost form. How long will he be able to survive though? Dreamer Cell trying to slow them down, but mind control's already gone. Thunder Awaken, they'll just keep going. Bakaz is there. What a bushwhack. Kuroki's gone as well. That's a second racks down. The buybacks are incoming, but is that the place to TP to? Mind control. He'll blink away, but Bakaz, he's right in again. Vamos. Cold embrace. Winter's curse. Lock them down. Do they keep going, however? Mind control. He'll survive for now. NGX not out of this one yet. In fact, Reaper's Sight going to catch Dark Mago on the backside. He goes way too deep. And it seems like Thunder Awaken, they'll wait for the next Roshan.
Start to play it safe. They see some of that fight coming back from NGX. Maybe diving a little bit too far back there. Chrono is going to be coming up soon as well for Dreamocell. T8 still in a really strong position. 2 lanes of racks gone. Only the mid left standing. NGX now 24k behind. And it's just back to the spin. It's been the big issue since the start of that game. Like the laning phase for Bakaz, sure, back and forth in the tri-lane, but he always had a triangle. They managed to get those stacks, and GX managed to scout it out. And that investment is just paying off dividends here for the side of Thunder Awakening. 13-1-6 on that spin. Just an amazing time here for Bakaz. Roshan spawning up now with a free shard. There is some vision here from NGX. They should see when someone does dive into that pit, so they might be able to play with Chrono. If they get their spacing right, if they maybe catch that Winter Wyvern in the back line, they could have a pretty decent shot, but that cold embrace just ruins everything Dreamocell wants to do.
Yeah, you look at the net worth right now for Bakaz, John, he's literally like 13, 14k ahead. It's just ridiculous. You compare the 2 position 1s at the moment. Sure, Chrono really just always scales, but so does God Strength. It's always a great ability to have, and Bakaz, again, just not struggling whatsoever this game so far. 24k ahead. There's going to be a big smoke up. NGX, this could be the last attempt to try and pull off this comeback in game number 2. Dreamer Cell, he's got that chrono up. He'll make the move in. Sacred, though, already breaking the smoke, just moves in immediately. No fear from Sacred. In comes Dark Mago as well. Dreamer Cell gonna move in, has found one. It'll only be Matthew. Meanwhile, Samel, the Dark Mago, no, the curse is there. Mind control's already gone. Chrono is gonna be committed, but where's the backup damage? They'll have the Earth Splitter, they'll have the Sonic Wave, maybe they can do it. Oh, they've taken down 2. In they go against Samel. They'll try to continue punishing. Storm's hammer is there, but Dark Mago gonna be just fine. He's for now. He'll remnant away. Kuroki looking to follow up though. Dark Mago, he's not safe. It might be a 3rd quarter go down for Thunder Awaken as NGX. Not out of this game too quite yet. The buybacks are incoming. Thunder Awaken, they're not happy about this. They want to try and punish onto Samel. They've got the king lined up. Take him down. Samel's gone for 75, but he does have buyback. He might need to commit right now though, John. They can't afford to lose this Roshan.
I mean, even if they do buy back, they don't have the chrono to play with. They will have the sight, but there's no buyback and mind control. So the Roshan is still free. The buybacks are worthwhile for Thunder Awaken. It's a big net worth swing for NGX, but they're losing the objectives they want to fight for. With a secondary life, Thunder Awakening still has a very smooth shot towards that last set of racks. And again, without the team fight spells, NGX, they don't have the tools to repeat what they just did there with the perfect chronos, the isolation of the Winter Wyvern. I don't see how they do it without those spells.
Here we go. Aegis up once again because double life available. Swift Blink almost completed on the spin. Not that he really needs it right now. They'll try for high ground with this Aegis. While Samel's still down for 20. And there you go, God Strength pop. There is going to be a stomp out from GH. Trying to buy a bit more time for Samel to respawn organically rather than having to force the buyback. Jump in is there, Reaper sight out, there's no damage though. They don't time it right this time, and Bakaz, he'll go right to work onto the Necrophos Dreamer cell. No chrono to play with yet, he's just jumping back and forth. That'll be Mega Creeps up though for Thunder Awaken. A very challenging game now for NGX to come back from, but John, they're not out of it yet.
They're not out. They need to play perfectly. Like, the chronos have to be on point. They've got to isolate Pandamu every single time. And their wave clear is decent enough. Like, they can kind of take care of the mega creeps, but it's a bit of a painful process. For Thunder Awakening, they still have Aegis for three minutes here. It's a long time they have to kind of maybe find a couple of last few items and go again.
And now it's all about high ground. And GX, they'll take their time. At the very least, you don't really want to force the fight into the Aegis of Thunder Awaken, so you might just wait that one out. 38 minutes in, what a position to find themselves in here on the Radiant side. EK ahead. To build up on these calls. In fact, they go again. Just take over that triangle. No fear in the world here. And GX, it's such a hard game to come back from, especially when you have nowhere to farm anymore. You just can't really leave the base right now if you are the Dire. It's just not safe. That they will try to secure the left side Dire jungle. Kuroki, he'll put his body forward to allow Dream Missile a bit of space to farm up. Thunder Awaken, they're not in position to punish this, so a bit more farm to go back the way of the Dire. Gonna need a hell of a lot more than that, though.
They need so much more. Maybe this Lincoln starts to help out for Dreamozell, just to protect from, say, the instant stuns coming through, or at least Curse as well. Can be pretty big in just blocking off that chrono. Still a ways off from really finishing it up. Thunder Awakening, just taking their time. They're going to have a full Hex up soon on Sacred. Even more control coming out here. Just lock in something like Sumail's Quap and dance around from there. You've already got an Aeon Disc up as well for Dark Mago, just waiting for Assembly. So you can just kind of sneak forward, dance around, pop it up, and just break up this fight completely.
It makes it so rough to burst him down. Like Reaper, Scythe, Chrono, none of it really matters anymore, at least for Dark Mago. Even Scythe the Vice available on Sacred, so the Timber even more lockdown available now. They do make their way up to the high ground. Mind that Aegis still there. Thunder Awaken, they'll be cautious, take their time. They understand how powerful they are, so they'll get started. On that tier 4 tower they go. Mega Creeps are there as well. NGX, they're going to try and force a fight. They'll slowly take it. Sacred though, he's got the Scythe device on Dream himself, but there's no backup. Not quite yet. NGX, they'll wait for the perfect moment for that chrono. Perfect plays are necessary to try and make this team fight win. Dark Mago, he'll move in, just keep chipping away as now the Ancient. It's exposed, they've got to fight with Bakaz. He's the one to start the fight. He'll just jump right in. Winter's Curse there as well, holding down 3 right in front of the fountain. Dreamer Cell, he time walks in, Scythe the Vice immediate, no chrono to come out, he'll buy back, where's the chrono? He'll not catch the spin, however, the cars under mind control, they at least found Sacred, a great stomp out, GH setting up for maybe a bit of a comeback, but mind control, big trouble for cars, right back to work, onto the other side, rampage for the cars spin, another rampage is back, can we make it a third? Vamos, vamos, vamos! It looks like we get back. Hold on a minute. Mind control. They'll at least find the Aegis. GG's called, however. The game's over. No need for a triple rampage. A double might do it. They'll try it one last time, but the game's over.